Location: Kashmir, Northern India. Time: winter, 1998. My name is Faiz Ahmed, a freelance photojournalist known for documenting forgotten places across India. In the winter of 1998, I received a strange letter from a man named Raghav Sharma. The handwriting was trembling, like someone had written it with frozen fingers. It read, "If you want to capture something that no one has ever captured, come to Shantipur Fort before the snow buries it. But do not open the third door." I had never heard of Shantipur Fort. It wasn't on maps or in history books. But something about that warning pulled me in like a magnet. A week later, I arrived. The wind howled through the mountains like the moans of something dying. The fort stood isolated on a rocky hill, its stone walls cracked and its windows gaping like blind eyes. The main wooden gate creaked open on its own. But inside, the fort was dead silent. Dust choked the air. In the main hallway, I found 3 wooden doors side by side, ancient and rotting. The first had the word Pravesh carved into it. The second, said Nidra, was blank, scratched, and stained with a faded red handprint. I remembered Raghav's warning, "Do not open the third door." That night, I stayed in a small upstairs room. At 3 a.m. I heard whispers, not voices, but sobbing. The sound came from the hallway. Then the third door rattled, violently, as if something inside was trying to get out. I didn't sleep a second. The next morning, I wandered deeper into the fort. I found a sealed room filled with ancient mirrors. Each one was covered with a black cloth, except one. I approached it, expecting my own reflection. But instead, I saw a man hanging from the wall, blood dripping from his eyes as he stared back at me. When I blinked, he vanished. Scratched into the mirror's corner were the words, "The door remembers." Or that night, the third door didn't just shake, it banged like fists, slamming from the inside. Then I heard it, my mother's voice. She died 10 years ago, but I heard her whispering from the other side, "Faiz, please, help me." I gave in. I opened the door. There was no room, just a black void, like the world ended there. Floating in the middle was a massive shattered mirror, and in front of it stood a faceless woman, holding her severed head in her hands. She whispered, "You look, now you belong." As I turned to run, the door slammed shut behind me and vanished. I woke up outside the fort the next morning, frostbitten and shaken, but something was wrong. Every mirror I look into now, whether in my home, a restaurant, or even a car, shows me standing in front of the third door, smiling, a smile I don't remember making. And behind me, she watches, getting closer each time. It had been 3 days since Faiz Ahmed escaped the cursed Shantipur Fort, or at least, he thought he had escaped. Back home in Delhi, Faiz tried to convince himself that the shadows, the whispers, the woman with no face, all of it were just tricks of the mind, cold-induced hallucinations, stress, exhaustion. But something had followed him. He started receiving calls at exactly 3 a.m. every night. No number, no name, only a voice that sounded eerily like his own, distorted and echoing. "You left, ... One night, Faiz stood in front of his bathroom mirror, staring into his reflection for what felt like hours. Then he noticed something. The reflection wasn't mirroring him. When he lifted his right hand, the reflection lifted its left. When he blinked, it smiled, a slow, wide, unnatural grin. Then the reflection whispered, though Faiz's lips never moved, "You're outside, but I'm inside now." Without warning, the mirror shattered inward, not outward. The shards fell into the sink, rearranging themselves into 3 chilling words. "The door remembers." Desperate for answers, Faiz dug up the original sender of the mysterious invitation, Raghav Sharma. He traced an old address in Srinagar. When he arrived, he found the house burned down, abandoned for years. A nearby vendor told him, "That place burned 20 years ago." Sharma lost his mind, said something escaped from a door he never should have opened. Inside the ruins, Faiz found a half-burnt journal buried beneath floorboards. The last entry read, "The third door is not a door. It is a mouth, a portal. And what comes through feeds on memory, voice, identity. It lives in mirrors, in your shadow. It speaks like you until you're forgotten, and it replaces you." I'm ending it tonight. If you're reading this, it's already too late. Faiz set up a hidden camera in his room. He needed proof that something was happening, that he wasn't going mad. What he found the next morning was, at 3 a.m., The footage showed him rising from bed. He walked to the center of the room and stood still, whispering in a language no one could identify. Suddenly, he turned and looked directly into the hidden camera, even though it was completely concealed. Then, he spoke. "If you're watching this, I'm already inside you." He smiled a wide, dislocated, broken smile, and bent his neck backward a full 180 degrees without breaking it. The video cut to black. Months later, a horror YouTuber received an email from a strange address, fazy.ahmed@darkmail.net. There was no message, just a subject line: "The third door is open again." Attached was a 33-second video. It showed a cracked mirror, and behind it, a faceless figure moving closer. At the end of the video, a whisper, "You're next." After the mysterious email from faiz.ahmed@darkmail.net went viral, paranormal fans and YouTubers around India began hunting for the real Shantipur Fort. One such creator, Nishan Rai, a skeptical but curious, began researching it obsessively. That's when it started. Every time Nishan watched the 33-second mirror clip, whether on his phone, tablet, or laptop, his reflection in the screen looked wrong. Sometimes it didn't blink when he did. Sometimes it smiled when he wasn't. And once, in the dead silence of 3 a.m., the audio whispered back to him, though he'd muted it, "You are the key. You are the door. Now." Following cryptic GPS coordinates and rumors from locals, Nishan traveled to the Kashmir mountains, where he found the ruins of Shantipur Fort. But it wasn't in ruins. The fortress looked recently restored, clean, alive. Inside, he found no signs of tourists or damage, only a massive portrait hanging in the central chamber. A photo of Faiz on. His eyes were completely white, his mouth stitched shut with thread. Beneath the frame, words carved into the stone: "When the world forgets the curse begins again." There were no doors this time, only one thing in the entire room, a huge mirror. When Nishan looked into it, he didn't see himself. He saw his bedroom in Mumbai, live, as if watching through a security cam. His bed, his laptop, his clothes, and then standing in the room, a version of himself, staring back through the mirror, faceless, silent, motionless. Nishan whispered, "How did I leave?" And his mirror self replied, "You never left. You only dreamed of leaving." Nishan tried to smash the mirror, but instead of breaking, it opened. Not like a door, but like a mouth. Inside was a long hallway, lined with mirrors, each mirror containing someone trapped inside. He saw hundreds of versions of people, Faiz Raghav, even others he didn't recognize. Some screamed silently, others stood still. All stared back. That's when he realized, no one escapes. They just reflect the next victim. He turned to run, but the entrance vanished. The whisper behind him said, "You open it once, you belong forever." A week later, new videos began appearing online. No titles, no usernames, no views. Each one featured a person seemingly normal, saying the exact same thing. "Hi, my name is Ni. I visited Shantipur Fort. I want you to see it too." Then the screen cuts to a mirror, and in the reflection is you, the viewer, watching, blinking. Then comes the final whisper, distorted and low, "You're next." You think you're just a viewer, just reading a story, but look closely. Are you sure the reflection in your screen blinked when you did? Are you certain you're alone right now? Because the third door doesn't need your hand to open it. It only needs your attention. And now, it knows your name.